If you are preparing for a DevOps interview, this video will save you hours. These are real questions I have personally seen repeated across companies, from startup to product based firms. No matter how many tools you list on your resume, interviewers keep coming back to these same concepts. If you can answer these clearly, you will stand out immediately. Interviewers don't want memorized answers. They want to see you think, how you troubleshoot, and whether you understand real systems. Linux questions are asked in almost every DevOps interview, regardless of experience level. What happens when a Linux service starts? This is one of the most common questions. When a service starts in Linux, systemd reads the service file, checks dependencies, allocate resources, and launches the process using the defined exec start command. Then it monitors the service based on restart policies and logs output to journal.d. Interviewers love when you mention systemd and service lifecycle. How do you debug high CPU usage? This question checks your troubleshooting mindset. First, I identify the process using tools like top or htop. Then I check whether the issue is application level, infinite loops, or resource starvation. I also verify logs, recent deployments, and system metrics before restarting anything. Never say I just restart the server. Git questions are less about commands and more about understanding history. Rebase versus merge. What is the difference? Merge keeps commit history intact and is safer for shared branches. Rebase rewrites commit history and creates a linear timeline, but should be avoided on public branches. Mention team safety here. Interviewers love that. One of the most common questions is, how do you resolve Git conflicts? The answer to it would be, I first understand which changes conflict, discuss with teammates if needed those changes, resolve them manually, test locally, and only then push the fix. Never resolve them blindly. CI/CD questions interviewers love. Build versus release versus deploy. What is the difference? Build compiles and packages code. Release prepares artifacts for production approval. Deploy moves the release to an environment. Clear the separation, which will be better for rollback. Next question would be, what if a pipeline fails? What will be your troubleshooting steps? Answer would be, I analyze logs, identify failure stage, roll back if needed, and ensure alerts are triggered. I also add retry logic and notifications to prevent silent feature. Docker interview questions. First question here would be, what happens during Docker run? Answer would be, Docker pulls the image, creates a container, set up networking, allocates resources, and start the container process. Container is just a running process. Next, very common question is image versus container. What is the difference? Image is a blueprint. Container is a running instance. Multiple containers can be created from one image. Cloud and architecture questions. What is the difference between scalability and availability? Scalability handles growth. Availability ensures uptime. Both are needed for production systems. Next would be what is cost optimization? Cost optimization is right sizing resources, auto scaling, monitoring usage, and shutting down unused services. Always remember that your thinking matters more than the final answer. Saying, I don't know, but I'll investigate this way is far better than guessing it wrong. I'll be sharing real DevOps interview questions weekly, exactly how they are asked. I also take interviews and I have given multiple interviews. So I'll be sharing my experience over here in this channel. Subscribe if you want to crack interviews with confidence.